Why do we suffer? Why does pain linger in our lives? Even when we chase comfort, wealth, or fleeting pleasures? Why does sadness visit without warning? Why does fear whisper in the quiet moments of our hearts? And why does dissatisfaction shadow even our happiest days? Over 2,500 years ago, a man named Siddhartha Gautama faced the same questions. Born into a life of unimaginable luxury, surrounded by beauty, riches, and ease, he could not ignore the suffering he saw around him. The sickness, the old age, the death, the pain of ordinary people. His heart ached with a question that would change the course of humanity. Why must there be suffering? Is there a way to truly be free from it? So he left everything he knew, his palace, his family, his home, and embarked on a journey into the unknown. A journey of silence and struggle, of reflection and awakening. A journey that would lead him to discover the path to end suffering. And today, we step onto that path with him to explore the timeless wisdom of the Buddha and to learn how it can guide us toward peace, clarity, and liberation from the endless cycles of pain. Siddhartha Gautama, a man born into privilege, surrounded by the luxuries of a royal palace. Yet, even within walls of gold, he could not escape the truths of life. The suffering that touches us all, illness, aging, death, loss, and pain. These sights pierced his heart deeply and stirred a question that would echo through the centuries. Why do beings suffer? Is there a way to truly be free from this pain? So he left everything he had ever known, his home, his family, his comforts, and stepped into the vast unknown. For years, he wandered, meditated, and sought answers in solitude, enduring hunger, hardship, and the trials of the mind and body. Through this journey, he discovered a truth that would transform the world, that suffering is universal, yet liberation is possible, and the path to freedom lies within our own understanding, choices, and awareness. He became the Buddha, the awakened one, a guide for anyone seeking peace amidst the suffering of life. And now, we follow in his footsteps, learning how the ancient wisdom of the Buddha can illuminate our path, even in the chaos of the modern world. Today, we live in a world that promises comfort and happiness at every turn. We chase success, possessions, recognition, and yet, many of us still feel a quiet emptiness inside. Stress creeps into our minds, anxiety grips our hearts, and dissatisfaction shadows even the moments we thought would bring joy. We scroll endlessly on our phones, compare ourselves to others, seek validation through likes and applause, and still, the sense of fulfillment remains just out of reach. Despite wealth, despite opportunities, despite all the distractions and comforts of modern life, suffering is still present. It whispers in the quiet moments. It lingers in our relationships, our ambitions, our fears. And this is exactly what the Buddha observed centuries ago. Suffering is universal, unavoidable, yet it is not permanent, nor is it inevitable. The question that remains for each of us is this: how do we confront this suffering? How do we understand it and ultimately transcend it? In the next moments, we will explore the timeless teachings of the Buddha, the path that can guide us out of pain and toward clarity, peace, and true freedom. Lesson 1: the nature of suffering. The Buddha taught that suffering is an inseparable part of life. This truth, known as Dukkha, reminds us that pain, loss, and dissatisfaction touch every being at every moment. It is the sickness that weakens the body, the aging that changes our faces, the losses that break our hearts, the disappointments that shadow our dreams. We cannot escape it, nor can we ignore it. Even the richest, the most powerful, the most loved, they too experience suffering. And yet, there is a lesson hidden within this truth. Suffering is not meant to crush us. It is meant to teach us, to awaken us to the nature of life, to the fleetingness of worldly pleasures, and to the reality that clinging, resisting, or denying only deepens our pain. Imagine a river, constantly flowing, never still. The Buddha invites us to stop struggling against it, to understand its currents, and to navigate life with wisdom and awareness. By seeing the true nature of suffering, we begin to recognize our attachments, our cravings, and the patterns that keep us trapped in endless cycles of pain. And in that recognition, we take the first step toward freedom. Lesson 2. The cause of suffering. If suffering is universal, then what causes it? The Buddha taught that the root lies in craving, tanha, our endless desires, attachments, and clinging. We crave what we do not have, we cling to what we cannot keep, and we resist the inevitable flow of life. We crave wealth, comfort, recognition. We cling to relationships, status, and fleeting pleasures. And when these are lost or change, we suffer. Even the smallest desires, unchecked, can create waves of dissatisfaction. Imagine trying to hold water in your hands. No matter how tightly you grip, it slips away, leaving emptiness in its place. Our minds, driven by attachment, create illusions of permanence in an impermanent world. And when reality reminds us of its impermanence, pain follows. In the modern world, it looks familiar. We chase promotions, likes, material goods, or even approval from others, yet happiness remains elusive. The Buddha showed that understanding the cause of suffering is the first step toward liberation. When we see the cravings for what they truly are, when we observe them without clinging, we begin to loosen the chains that bind us and open the door to inner peace. Lesson 3. The path to end suffering. The Buddha did not leave us with despair. He showed us a path to freedom, a path to end suffering. This is the Noble Eightfold Path, a guide for living with awareness, compassion, and wisdom. It begins with right view, seeing the world clearly, understanding the truths of life and suffering. Right intention follows, choosing thoughts rooted in kindness, renouncing craving and ill will. Right speech, right action, right livelihood, guiding us to speak truthfully, act ethically, and live in harmony with the world around us. Right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration, teaching us to cultivate awareness, to stay present, to focus our minds with calm and clarity. In every moment, the path invites us to choose wisely, to let go of attachment, to act with compassion, to observe life as it truly is. It is not an abstract philosophy. It is a practice, a way of being in the world. Imagine walking a path through a dense forest. Each step must be deliberate, aware, and mindful. Each step brings clarity. Each step brings freedom. By following this path, we learn to live without being ruled by craving, to find peace amidst chaos, and to awaken to the deep joy of liberation. And so, we arrive at the heart of the Buddha's teaching. Suffering is not a punishment, nor is it a curse. It is a mirror, reflecting the attachments, desires, and illusions that bind us. But the Buddha showed us that suffering is not eternal. There is a path, a way to walk beyond the pain, beyond the fears, beyond the endless craving that clouds the mind. Through understanding, mindfulness, and compassionate action, we can loosen the chains of attachment. Through awareness and deliberate practice, we can cultivate peace within ourselves. Each moment offers a choice, a chance to act with kindness, to observe without clinging, to step closer to freedom. The path is not easy, but it is always open. Every mindful breath, every conscious thought, every act of compassion is a step toward liberation. And in walking this path, we discover that peace is not somewhere outside. It is already within us. It is awakened, nurtured, and revealed through the choices we make, moment by moment. Let us take that step today and every day toward clarity, towards compassion, toward the end of suffering,